when you set your mind to work for you and you not for it, you are going to release limiting beliefs right now and have a mind that delivers what you want in your life for success. Our minds are built for survival. Did you know that 80% of success is within the mind? By learning the keys to dialogue with your mind, you're going to unlock true potential right now, even in these times of 2020. We're going to essentially reprogram our minds for our own success. The words you tell yourself on a daily basis creates your thoughts. Thoughts create your emotions, and then your emotions create the way you ultimately feel. So many of us are feeling out of sorts right now, but let's remember that that's a displacement of our power. We're going to learn the fundamental keys to dialogue with your mind to reprogram it for success. So let's light up your mind right now. I'm going to be teaching you how to use these key techniques to dialogue with your mind to get it to work for you instead of against you. Your mind does what you tell it. For example, if I said, "It's raining pigs outside," what does your mind see? Pigs. Knowing this, knowing that the mind does what you tell it to, gives us tremendous power in how we can position these words in our minds to actually work for us. Your mind reacts to the words you feed it, and that's a big deal. It'll help you change the languaging that you use every day because you're going to recognize that your mind is listening to you. It's listening to you, and it's imprinting images based on what you're saying. So learning how to position these words in your mind will empower you. Our minds respond to the images we paint inside of it by the words we use every day. So our minds are like little recorders. Throughout life, we can tend to paint all sorts of pictures and stories in the mind that can diminish it from actually helping us in what it is that we want in our lives. When we understand this crucial concept, we're going to learn and be more aware of the powerful words we are saying that paint those vivid pictures in our minds and get it to be on our side and work for us. So we must realize that the words we're using paints pictures in the mind, and the mind then reacts and responds and answers to these images that we paint in our minds. So here's an example. Most of us will say, "I'm dieting, but I'm not losing any weight." Now let's switch that to, "I'm going to fit into those jeans again. I'm going to fit into that dress again." When you do that, that's paints a clear picture in your mind, and that gives you something to go for. That gives the mind a vivid image of what you want. The mind does not understand diet, and everyone can practice this. So the first key in dialoguing with your mind to reprogram it for success, practice this in the present tense. When you use words in the present tense with the mind, it gets that, it relates to that. So for example, I want a healthy and strong immune system now. When do you want this immune system? Tomorrow? 6 months from now? When? So when you tell the mind when you want it, it knows that, it understands that. So remember to use words in the present tense when you're dialoguing with your mind So to reprogram your mind for success, action, powerful words in the present tense. Okay, so that's the first way we're going to dialogue with our minds for success. The mind doesn't know next year, it doesn't know 6 months, it doesn't know 5 years, it doesn't understand these things. It knows the present moment. For example, so if I said, close your eyes and imagine taking a bite out of your favorite dessert. What happens? You can see it, right? You can feel it. You can imagine that, right? So that's to show you how powerful your mind is. I want to feel successful now. I am successful now. I want to feel happy and joyous now. I am taking care of myself right now. Notice how these words have a certain resonance to them when we say it this way. The mind can sort of join us. It paints this clear picture for it, and it's great because the mind's like, it gets lit up, and when it gets lit up, it's like it lights us up, and together it's like we're action oriented and we're determined and we're excited. This is how this process works. It just takes a little practice. So avoid using negative words, because we all can have a tendency to have negative self-talk. And let's remember that the mind is like a recorder, and it's listening to, and it's making images with everything that we're telling it. And we want to be aware of the words we're saying to ourselves on a daily basis, because this is the picture we're painting in our minds. I want to share a little story with you. I used to play tennis competitively, and I've gone to the finals of most of those competitions that I played in. And a lot of the times, I would say 95% of the times, my opponent was stronger than I was, bigger than I was, and probably had better stats than I did. I was self-taught, and I still made it there. And the fact is, when I walked on that court, I just said to myself that I'm going to win this match. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to really give it all I have. There were times when you're down a point, or a point is going on for a long time. If you're down the point, I tell myself, I'm going to win that next point. And sure enough, I did. So this is powerful stuff. This is transformational stuff. Millions of people's lives have been changed by this. I lit my mind on fire, and together it was like my mind helped me. If you're enjoying this content, please like and share and subscribe to this channel so I can bring you more videos. Secondly, the mind only answers you when you are painting a very clear image for it. How do you do this? By understanding that the mind doesn't relate to words like not, never, no. These prefixes, it's not something the mind really understands on a subconscious level. So how many times if you have been around children or have children, how many times have you said, don't touch that? And what do? They touch it. So that's a very clear example right there. How many times have we made our New Year's resolutions? For example, I'm never going to eat sugar. Sugar is bad for me. I'm going to stop sugar. All the mind is really hearing there is sugar, right? Change this statement to better dialogue with the mind, to get what we want, to get it on our side, to get it to help us. So the way you can restate that dialogue to our mind is to say something like, I want to reduce sugar starting today. Do you see how that is like more of a clear statement for the mind? It creates a clear image. What do you want to do? You want to reduce sugar. Okay, that's your action, your description. And when do you want to do this? In the present tense. You want to start today. You want to start right now. Do you see how different it is then? I'm never going to eat sugar. I'm going to stop eating sugar. Sugar is bad. So all of those negative words aren't really helping in the dialoguing with the mind on the subconscious level. So they're not hard. You're just taking out any negative words and all of the nots, never, things like that. So you just say, I want to reduce sugar today. The next time you get in front of something that has a lot of sugar, you're going to say, I'm not going to have that, because guess what? Your mind is kicking in and reminding you that, hey, wait a minute, you said you want to reduce sugar. And so there's where the mind kicks in with you. So that's number 2, sending that clear message. And that's where it helps you. It's not using those negating words. For example, I don't want to get sick. I'm worried about getting sick. Everyone's got this virus. So changing it to, I have a healthy and strong immune system, and my body is an amazing machine. There's such a difference. Can you feel the resonance in those words and how they capture your mind in a different place? That's really important, that we're telling it these powerful, vivid action words that ignite it, that just puts it in a place that lights it up for us. And so this is where this kind of magic can happen. So the words you use to paint this clear, vivid picture or image in your mind is what is going to bring you the success in your life that you want. Successful people paint very powerful images of success in their mind, regardless of any situation they're going through. So keep watching for the rest of this key formula. It really is not enough to say just a positive statement. So I'm going to show you in just a second how to change a basic positive statement into something that the mind really knows and understands. Using action-oriented and very descriptive words are going to help your mind paint that clear picture of what you want. So let's say you have the statement that you like and you think it's a positive statement. My life is getting better every day. So how can we improve that statement to something the mind can feel more excited about, more lit up about? What do we need to add to that statement? So can you see how vague that is? That requires the mind a lot of energy to keep that up and to kind of fill in a lot of blanks. This is the key here. You don't want the mind to fill in blanks. You want to fill the blanks in. That's why it's vital that you give it these key descriptive words so that it knows what you want, so it can just start working right away and not filling in things that you don't want. So let's change that. Let's change that vague statement to, I am going to be successful in whatever I'm doing right now. I like feeling successful now. I want to feel successful now. Can you feel how much more excitement and how much more empowering that is, how much that lights you up? You see how much that lights your mind up. It gets on your side to help you to get there in that place that you want to go in, that direction that you want to go in. So it is just so much about it is just using these action-oriented words that inspire you, that are, when you're in a place of inspiration, you will say them with conviction, and your mind is going to hear it and listen to you and do it with you. So we're moving away from vague statements and dialoguing with the mind with more clear, descriptive words that the mind can relate to. So let's say you're going into something that you have to do and you're kind of nervous about it. If you start saying to your mind, oh, I'm worried about this, I hope I do well, I really hope that I'm going to do a good job at this. Can you feel how that's negative? Can you feel how that may be true? You may be feeling that, and that's okay. But we still have to play a little trick on the mind, because the mind goes along with us, and we don't want that. In a situation where you want your mind to be on your side, to be lighting you up and helping you out, how can we switch that? So we can switch it to saying, I'm going to kick ass at this. I'm going to do so good at this right now. Okay, so I hope that you're really getting to see how a clear, vivid image is so vital. It's really just getting the mind in a place that's going to activate you, be lit up with you, and lighting your path. So just remember, the words you use are painting the images in your mind. So you really have to be conscious and aware of this, okay? It's like a little recorder always listening to you. And if you can remember that, that's big. That's going to help you really, really transform the languaging of your daily life. So get into some descriptive words. I'm going to champion at this. I'm going to be great at this. I'm amazing at this. So again, the magic formula is to dialogue with the mind in the present tense, and to use very action-oriented words that empower you and light up your mind and get you going and excited, and descriptive words which paints that vivid picture clearly to the mind. Those are things in which you get yourself in a place that is exciting for the mind, and the mind can hear that. It's a picture that the mind sees very clearly, and it knows what you want because you are being clear. Practice this and it will come very naturally. If you're enjoying this content, please like and share and subscribe to this channel. I hope that you gained a lot from this video and you'll practice it. Loving kindness to you all.